Hello and a very good evening and welcome to another edition of the Hampton League Netball Show. Great to have your company. Bye weekend in the Hampton Football Netball League. That's right, no football, no netball. A weekend off for everyone to relax, recharge before a big end of the season. And without sort of knowing what the season's going to look like after the bye, I think we're going to have another 7 rounds and a 16-round season. But that's all to be confirmed with the Hampton Football Netball League over the coming weeks. Now, joining me in the hot seat, no Trish Butters tonight, the First Lady of Netball, but I've got someone equally as talented and can speak okay as well. And I speak of the Warrnambool gun, Amy Wormwood. Wormy, good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited.
Heart is pumping.
I'm excited to have you on here.
I'm excited to be here.
You're in good form with the Blues and you love your Hampton netball, so it's nice to have you in.
Yeah, excited to have a chat.
Now tell me, a great win on the weekend against Koroit. Really tough season at the moment. That sort of top 6 is still taking a bit of shape with who's going to be looking like for finals and so forth. But I think the win against Koroit on the weekend, and we'll talk more about it later, but what a real confidence booster for you guys.
Yeah. And we were happy to get the win, no doubt about that. And they are a really young side, but beating Koroit is good anytime. So we were really happy about it. So, yeah.
Beautiful. We'll look at the highlights very soon. Let's have a look at the results of last weekend's round. It was round number 7, which completed the first round of results, the first round of matches against every side. And Camperdown had a good, strong win over the Seagulls by 22. Cobden flexed their muscles with a big 37-goal win over Terang Mortlake. As we just said, the Warrnambool Blues, an 8-goal win over the Koroit Saints. North Warrnambool, 2 strong against the Hamilton Kangaroos by 30. And the South Warrnambool Roosters got the job done by 29 goals over the Portland Tigers. We might have a look at the highlights. The first game we'll look at Ames is South Warrnambool taking on the Portland Tigers, and what a great performance by the Roosters. 29 goals. No doubt they would have been pretty pumped up to bounce back after that defeat against Cobden the week before.
Yeah, absolutely. They were pretty disappointed with that. I was talking to a couple of the girls from South, and they definitely thought that, had they been at full strength, they could have challenged them a lot harder. But I'm sure that they were happy to get back on the winners board. I said, though, a loss at that time of the season is probably not too bad. So, they'd be happy to get back on the winners board this weekend. And
Andy Blackburn obviously was a little bit sick in the second half of the game against Cobden last week. Back to full fitness, shot 21 goals. And her and Olivia Maris, you're a goal-shooting superstar, but geez, they're forming a nice little combination, aren't they, those two?
Yeah, they really are. They move really well together. They have that combination of height and speed. Annie is a very intelligent netballer, has really good touch. So, they're a really good combination. They work well together.
And you obviously played both sides. Portland, a very young side, but geez, they've got a lot of upside, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. And they battle hard. They push you hard the whole game. And although sometimes the score doesn't reflect it, they're a good side, and they'll be good in the years to come.
Let's have a look at North Warrnambool taking on the Hamilton Kangaroos. And, I thought the Kangaroos might have been a little bit closer, but North Warrnambool's form the last 4 or 5 weeks been absolutely sensational, and they got the job done pretty well again. And, they're just sort of peaking at the right time of the season, I reckon, the Eagles.
Yeah, they are. I sort of haven't heard too much about them in recent times, but I have heard that they're playing some really good and consistent netball. I personally haven't played against Hamilton yet, and I'm looking forward to seeing them, but they've been pushing sides, so that's a good win for North.
The Jordan Murphy was named best on court for the North Warrnambool Eagles, and I'll tell you what, to have 4 goal shooters too over the course of the weekend, young Claudia Sextus had her chance in the goal circle, but have Vic Grundy, Tani Porter, Sky Billings, and chuck in young Claudia Sextus. It's nice to have some, versatility and some different options when you're going forward.
Yeah, and that's hard for defenders to defend on different shooters the whole time. They're always having to change up their style and adapt to the new shooters that come in or the new subs that come in. So, probably a good tactic.
And the next game we'll have a look at is your game, Amy. It was Koroit taking on the Warrnambool Blues, and the Blues got up by 8. Tell us a bit about the game and sort of how it unfolded.
Yeah, it was a fast game early. We were down, I think, in the first quarter. It goes to show how much I sort of look at the scoreboard. We just play and, go quarter by quarter. But then we sort of got a jump up on 10 goals, I think, at 3-quarter time and held that. I mean, we ended up winning by 8, but sort of held that as held that tempo and intensity throughout the second half. So we can credit that to our fitness, I think.
And what I like about your side, you know, you've got some great youngsters, but you've got a bit of experience in there as well. You know, you've still got the likes of Emma Carsten yourself, but, you know, Jess Waits is starting to get a few more games under her belt. Ava Pearce comes in to that lineup. Ash Evans was another youngster that's come over.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've got a nice little blend there at the moment. Do you feel like you're sort of clicking a lot better now in comparison to the first couple of weeks?
We do, and we're like a bit upset that the bye has come at this time because we are starting to hit our straps and gel together quite well. But it does help when you've got someone like Emma up one end, Jess and I who have played a lot together up the other end. Sarah Smith, Jess and I have all played together a lot. So, and then you slot Ava Pearce into that, and yeah, we're coming together, I think, at the right time, hopefully.
And Sarah Cowling as well.
Yes, she had her first 4 quarters on the weekend.
Yeah, fantastic.
So, yeah, she got through the game really well, so that was good. Good to see.
Hey, can I just ask you about a few names? Ava Pearce and Matilda Fitzgerald, a couple of real youngsters. Tell us a bit about their games and how they've developed. We know Ava's obviously played some senior netball at Port Fairy, but has she sort of taken the next step, sort of coming over to the Blues? And, you know, she seems like she's been in the best players quite regularly.
Yeah, we love her game style. Raywin loves her game style. She's so good with her feet and speed. And I think her responsibility with us over at the Blues has become greater, and she's relishing that new role, I think. As opposed to when she was at Port Fairy, she does have a little bit more responsibility. We're sort of asking her to play 4 quarters in the mid-court, and yeah, she's doing really well. She's adjusting to us really, really well. We're adjusting to her, and we're enjoying having her. But in terms of Matilda Fitzgerald, she has a lot of growth. We're still trying to find a little bit of consistency with Matilda, and like she's young, so of course that's going to take a little bit more time and effort. But she has some really good, exciting things to come. If she puts her head down, she can definitely get there.
Now, I just want to ask you just about you. Obviously, still playing Warrnambool Mermaids as well. So how do you find combining the two? We spoke to you on the show a couple of weeks ago, but you know, you're getting a little bit older, but you're still relatively young in age, so there's no worries there. But you know, how do you find sort of mixing the two with trainings and then game days? I know there's probably some weeks you might miss Blues netball, but then there's other weeks you might miss basketball. So how do you sort of combine it to ensure that, you know, you're giving, I guess, ample service to both sides? Yeah,
and that's the struggle. I want to commit to both things equally, but it's hard to do. So netball is actually my first priority, and I don't miss out on a netball game. But yeah, I just try and make training as much as I can. I have been training really well every session recently, and I don't travel too much to Melbourne, so I have missed a few games, and with the lockdown that's been really good for my body personally, so I'm not, you know, so sad about it. But no, I think I'm handling it quite well, playing my first game since post lockdown this weekend, which I'm excited about. We've got the bye, so I should be able to sort of get through it. But yeah, I'm dealing with it, I guess. I'm hitting the big 3-0 on Monday.
Oh, look out.
The
3-0.
I
I still remember interviewing you many years ago on the basketball show on 3YB, and might have been, you and Holly Green might have been 16 or 17.
Yeah,
so,
probably.
Gee, you're making me feel old now too, Wormy. Hey, let's go to the Zoom. We've got a very special guest tonight. She's come back to the North Warrnambool Eagles after spending a season in the Ballarat Netball Football League, and I speak of Georgia Corbett. George, thanks for joining us. Great to have you on the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Yeah, George, great to have you back in the competition. How have you settled back in at the North Warrnambool Eagles?
Yeah, no, absolutely loving it back there. It's been really good to have new faces at the club, and obviously young ones come up, and yeah, just a good club to be back at, I suppose. I love it there. I've done all my junior years, and yeah, it's really good to be back. Really loving it.
Now, you played with East Point in the Ballarat League in the 2019 season. Tell us a bit about how you went up there and what triggered the return back to North Warrnambool.
Yeah, so that was a really interesting year, actually. It was different sort of comp up in Ballarat. It's still a very high level of netball as well, but yeah, I sort of just moved there because I've obviously gone up to uni there. So started playing there, and that was really good. Got really kind of good feedback from that club as well. They really helped me progress as a netballer. It was really good, but I just sort of come back because of COVID. I thought, head home, pay no rent with the rent. So that was good. Live at home. And then, yeah, I just thought, well, I'll return to the nest and play at North because I don't have to go back to the uni. So, yeah.
George, how has your role changed since you've come back to the club? I know that you sort of left as a sort of a youngster, and now you've come back, and I know when we played you were quite vocal, a leader. So how's your role changed as you've come back to North?
Yeah, actually, it's probably changed quite a bit. When I sort of left, I was sort of, that out of 17s, sort of a fresher senior player, sort of didn't have as much sort of involvement. I guess I sort of wasn't one of the main ones there, but now coming back, since I've sort of taken on a few more opportunities with, doing the preseason and sort of just helping maintain that coaching with Sky as well. As I suppose just a lot more input being one of the older ones. I mean, like, we're such a young team, but all of us are sort of taking on that role of, standing up. And yeah, it's quite exciting actually, coming back as sort of more of an older sort of figure, I suppose, for the younger ones, which even though I'm still so young, it's sort of, a bit more of an opportunity, which is good.
Hey, George, just looking at results over the last 4 or 5 weeks, and I've made mention on this program, I think your form is as good as anyone's in the competition. A bit of a scratchy start. I think that's due to, a few injuries and unavailabilities, but it seems like, now the team's slowly coming together. You're getting your best, players on the court now, and you're, I guess, reaping the rewards with some really good wins over the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, so like at the start of the year, I think it was just like anyone, we'd had that year off. We hadn't really played as many games and stuff. So it was sort of that, just getting back in the groove of netball. And yeah, we had a few injuries and stuff, and new players to the club, I think. And now we've just sort of, as the season's gone on, we've just that second half, we've just come back and we're really on and off the court. We're really gelling as a club, like, and as a senior team as well. And I think because we have that depth of the juniors as well, like all different sorts of, 17s, Div 1s coming up through the mix is really helpful. We know that we have that depth and that back option as well of, if someone's got an injury, well, we know we have someone to fill that place. So yeah, I think that's just really what's sort of made us have that role of the wins and stuff. And yeah, we just, each week we're really improving as a team, and we're just enjoying it as well. I think that's what we're liking the most. We're not having that pressure of, oh my God, I'm coming up against, say, Warrnambool or Cobden or South. We're so stressed about it. We're like, let's just get out there and enjoy netball, because COVID showed how much we missed it, and it's just really good to get back into it, I think.
Yeah, and you talk about that enjoyment, and a part of it, I know, is because you've got such good juniors coming up. Can you talk about those juniors just a little bit more? I know Tani Porter's impressing.
Absolutely.
You had a debutant on the weekend. Can you talk about those just a little bit more?
Yeah, so Tani, obviously, she's been with us since 13s, and she has just absolutely shone through. Like, we knew she was going to be a really good player, but each week she continues to just improve and just continue to give us such good and really help with the wins. So Claudia as well, she's definitely coming through as one of the good shooters too. She's having a really good run in the Div 1s as well. But hopefully she'll have a few more games with us. And Maddie James as well, she's been playing quite a bit of open netball, and she's been really, really good for us, especially with a few mid-quarters leaving our team and stuff. She's really filled the gap really well. So we're very lucky to have those girls.
Hey, George, just looking at the ladder, gee, it's tight. Obviously, Cobden, undefeated on top. South Warrnambool have only dropped the one game and had a draw, but from sort of 3rd to 6th, it's really tight. So following the break, the next 4 weeks is going to be pretty critical, I reckon, knowing that it's most likely going to be a shorter season. So no doubt Coach Billings and the crew would be pretty keen over the next 4 weeks to really play your best netball, just to consolidate potentially a top 3 spot, but just even to be in the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I think these next couple of weeks, I know you're saying, Amy, we're just going to be having to be on our best, best positions and best teams, and hopefully good form. Hopefully no injuries throughout the lot, so we can play obviously good netball and fair netball and have our best sides available. I know that, it's a really weird year with everyone on the ladders. It's not really showing who's the best team sort of thing. It's some people are beating others, and it's quite exciting. It's not one dominant team through the whole club, like through the whole league, I suppose. It's good mix.
No, it is good for the competition. Now, I can't leave you without asking about your brother, Josh. He's on the Gold Coast Suns list and playing some good footy at the moment. He's playing against the Tigers tomorrow night, and I know you try to get down to as many games as you can. You must be pretty proud to see him. He's done it the hard way, I guess. Obviously, he's had to go the back door to get into the AFL system, and going beautifully at the moment. Joffa?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's been a bit of a progress sort of with him, with trying to get in the team and stuff. But tomorrow night we'll head down to Melbourne and hopefully have a win against the Tigers. But they're going to be a hard team to beat. But no, it'd be really good just to be there and to watch him play. It's sort of a blessing sometimes with COVID. You have opportunities that happen, and yeah, so no, it's really exciting. It'll be good to see him. Yeah.
Oh, that's outstanding. Hey, George, thanks for joining us on the Netball Show tonight. We really appreciate your time. It's great to see you back in the competition, and from all things that I've heard, you're playing a really important role for the Eagles. So best of luck for the rest of the season, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Awesome. See you later.
Georgia Corbett there, a great defender for the North Warrnambool Eagles. She'd be a pretty tough person to play on, I reckon.
Yeah,
she's energetic, she's bouncy, and tough.
That's exactly 3 words perfect to describe Georgia. She's energetic and very, very tough. We play against each other a fair bit, and it's always quite a physical battle. So yeah, she's a really good player, Georgia, and quite vocal. She's come into her own this season, so she's becoming one of those real standout dominant players in the league, which is good.
And I think she has to as well, because speaking to her just before, and she's saying that she's one of the older ones, and she's only young. I reckon she'd be only early 20s, 21, 22.
I think
so
she's only 21, so that's
they're a
crazy.
really young side, aren't they?
Yeah, that surprised me actually to hear that she is one of the leaders now, and she is so young. Yeah, so that just goes to show that we've got a lot of good talent coming up.
Absolutely. Now, before we go, we haven't got any games to go through because obviously we've got the bye this weekend, but just wanted to look at the ladder. So, Cobden on top, undefeated. They're playing a beautiful brand of netball. Sophie Hinkley's just starting to get back a bit of game time. Nadine McNamara is back into that lineup over the last couple of weeks as well. They're a good side, aren't they?
They really are, and they play together as a team. They rotate really well. They've got a lot of different options, which is a strength to have. So they are the team to beat, I think, at the moment. They've played together for a while, but who knows, like with Amy Hammond sitting out for the rest of the season, that could change up a little bit, but they do have some good juniors. They played... now, her name's escaped me, but their wing defence was played in under 17s against my under 17s, and she was unreal. Like, she was very, very impressive. So, they'll be good and strong.
And then you look at the other side. So South Warrnambool have got 7 wins and the 1 loss with a draw in there. North Warrnambool 6 wins and 3 losses. Warrnambool 5 wins, 3 losses and a draw. Koroit 5 wins, 4 losses, and then Camperdown just outside the 5 with 4 wins. 3 losses and 2 draws. So, and then Hamilton, Portland, Port Fairy, all 2 wins. So you'd imagine at the moment, you'd say probably the top 6 are the ones fighting out for that top 5. It's going to be a pretty hard fought race for the top 3, but also for top 5 as well.
Yeah, it's tight. That next, those teams outside of the 6, like they do have some opportunities to get some good scalps, and that will impact, I think, the top 5. But I know we've got 3 tough games coming up in a row, which could really, sort of cement our spot in the top 5 that we hope that, we want to win. And I think, out of the next 4 games, 3 of them are above us. So, 2 of them at least. So it's exciting. It's good that it's tight. Hope there will be a lot of chopping and changing, I think, over the next couple of weeks. So, yeah.
It's been a great season thus far. Now, I wanted to ask you, toughest opponent so far this year?
Oh, that is a really tough question. I don't know, really. Yeah, I know. I always say this to my juniors. I coach under 17s, and this is going to sound horrible, but I always say, you need to walk out there and think that you are the best on the court. I think that my toughest opponent personally is on my team, Emma O'Keefe. She is really hard to play against. The Cobden Defenders are a good team. Goodness me, Hilly.
All right, I'll ask you another question then.
Ask me another one, yeah.
If you could choose one player from another side to join the Warrnambool Blues, who would you choose? And I know we've got a plethora of great netballers across the other 9 teams, but if there was one person you'd like in your side, who would you have?
Yeah. I know who my toughest opponent is. Carly Watson, first round. She smashed me. I think it would be Carly. Yeah, to have on my team. She's a great personality, a tough competitor, and yeah, I know that we tried to get her at the start of the season and, you know, South beat us in that sort of race. But she's a lovely person, a leader, a great communicator. She plays hard. I imagine she would train really hard as well. Great defender, good at, you know, getting intercepts, playing instinctively. Yeah, I reckon it would be Carly. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Great player, Carly Watson. And I know it's a hard question because, geez, we've got so many good netballers.
Yeah.
Across the
I could say my friends like Emily Rose Finnegan, but I would love to have her on my team. You know,
is that more for the social
Annie
side
O'Brien,
as well?
Yeah, exactly. That would be for after the game. But yeah, no, I think Carly, she's a good addition to any team. Yeah, she's a great player.
Yeah, good response.
Yeah.
Hey, James, before we go, we must thank you for your kindness to come in and co-host with me tonight.
No worries.
It's great to have you in, and I know you love your Hampton netball. But a huge thanks to all of our major sponsors. So Power Core, jumping on board in 2021. I know that they really love their community sport, as do Macca's. So make sure you get to support these local businesses. Macca's have got the 2 venues in Warrnambool, out at East Warrnambool and Central. Sun Gold Milk, the best milk in Australia. And I know that you like your flavoured milk. What's your best, you know, do you like an iced coffee? Do you like your chocolate, strawberry, honeycomb? What's your go-to?
I'm a big chocolate gal, so yeah, chocolate would be my go-to, and my dad drinks it by the bottle as well, so we've always got it in our house.
I love it. And Lindock Living as well. Great to have them on board for 2021. And we can't forget Miss Kit for all your beauty needs. I know that Jodie and the team do great things with the beauty school as well. So Miss Kit in Caroit Street in Warrnambool, we do thank the team for jumping on board for season 2021 as well. So no netball this weekend. Enjoy the week off, and we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday night to look at the next round of Hampton Football Netball League action.